Tonight is the official 2020 St Vincent de Paul Community Sleepout for the homeless. And some people might be wondering, Eddie, why are you involved? Why are you sleeping out? Well, about 6 years ago, my life was a mess. I was actually living in an apartment in the city, and one morning I got up early. It was actually Christmas Day. I got up about 3 or 4 o'clock and I couldn't go back to sleep. My life was a mess. All these thoughts were going through my mind, and I decided to go for a walk. And as I was walking along George Street, I started to see around me there was homeless people everywhere, all asleep there with little newspaper for blankets, and it was one after another, dozens and dozens. And all of a sudden, my problems didn't seem too bad at all compared to what everyone else here was going through. And I really wanted to help out. I wanted to help them out. And then not long after this, one of my friends actually dropped me off one evening back to my apartment. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and I actually lived next door to a Japanese restaurant, one of those really fancy places. And from the outside, you could actually see inside. The whole front wall was glass window, and the floor of this restaurant was raised about a metre off the sidewalk. And inside, you could see people really fancily dressed. Each meal would probably cost $100 or so. And so there's thousands of dollars being spent there that night. But what really shocked us was just outside this restaurant, there was a lady setting up her bed for the night. She was homeless. And she had some newspapers and some blankets and so on. And as we looked closer, we were shocked. This poor girl, she wasn't, I reckon, maybe 13 or 14 years old. And I thought, this is not right. This is not right. There's so much wealth being just spent in this restaurant, and let alone all around Sydney, and this poor girl can't get a roof over her head for that night. And something's not. This is Australia, and I really wanted to help out. And I thought to myself, maybe next Christmas I could set up a barbecue on Martin Place, or perhaps put some money in some Christmas cards and give it out to the homeless. But I wanted to help out. And a few years later, I actually came across the St Vincent de Paul Community Sleepout, and it was a great way for me to be able to participate and actually get involved. And they raised awareness about the homelessness issue in Australia. They raised some money, and they really do some great work. And now this is something that I really want to thank everyone for supporting me. This year, people have been really great, really generous with their money and support. I've raised about $1,800 so far, so thank you so much everyone who's helped me raise that money, and it all goes for a really good cause. Now, what's it like sleeping out? Well, this year, because of COVID, we're actually sleeping in our own backyards or in cars and so on. And I'm here from the back garden. I'm sleeping on like a concrete floor. I've got a cardboard roof over my head. I've got a hard pillow. And this is going to be my home tonight. This is where I'm going to sleep. I've actually slept here now for the past 9 nights because I thought, to give it justice, I wanted to experience more what the homeless go through. And what's it been like over the last 9 nights? Well, to be honest, it's some nights you don't get a good sleep. You wake up, you're stiff. One night, I think 2 nights ago, there was a police chopper. I must have been close overhead, and I woke up about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I couldn't really get back to sleep. And then I also got up, during the night. My beanie might fall off. You get a cold head, or the sleeping bag zipper comes undone, and you start to get cold. And this is a few of the issues that the homeless people go through. But see, at least here I've got security. There's no one walking around. It'd be much harder sleeping in a city or under a bridge somewhere with other people going around with the lack of security and so on. But look, what can we do? What can we all do? Well, last year at last year's community sleepout, there was a homeless man, or he was homeless, who shared his story. And what happened to him? Well, his mum passed away, and he started to drink a lot, and his wife left him. He lost his job, and he became homeless. And he's sharing his story. He was living in Parramatta in the park there. He was drinking a lot, and his life was a mess. And one day he looked up to the heavens and he said, "God, I'm doing a horrible job living my life. You take care of it." As a small prayer like that, but a good prayer. Now, after that prayer, he said that his whole life started to get better, and his wife took him back, and he started working again, and everything starting to get back to normal. But now he shares his story, shares his testimony. And one thing that really struck me was he said that when he was homeless, one man, it was a nicely dressed man, came up to him, bought him a coffee, and sat with him for about an hour. And they just had a chat like they were like mates. And he said that 1 hour of that man's time, just being his friend, listening to him, talking to him, was touched him more than all the other support he had. He had a lot of handouts given to him and so on, but it was just that act of charity. Someone was willing to sit with him for that hour, and that really struck me. That's something we can do. We can all do that. We can spend some time with the homeless, buy them a coffee, buy them a drink or something, and have a chat with them. Rather than, sometimes we think, the government will sort it out or someone else will sort it out. But, it's our time, our charity, we can all help out. And the other thing we can do is pray. Pray. Now, the rosary is a really powerful prayer. The rosary is such a powerful prayer. So what we can do is when we pray the rosary, keep the homeless in our intentions. We'll pray for them. It's a really powerful prayer. And what else we can do is we can actually get involved. We can get involved with the Sleepout. We can, donate, or we can get involved ourselves. We can lobby the government. There's plenty of ways to get active, to actually get engaged, to help out the homeless, to petition the government to build more houses through St Vincent de Paul or other agencies as well, or even off our own, of our own accord. But definitely, stand up for them, get involved, support these charities. There's places like Matthew Talbot Hostel in the city. They're always looking for volunteers to come and help out. But there's plenty of ways. So I would encourage everyone, get involved, help out. It's really rewarding, really nice way to be able to give back. And I'll close with this story. Now, one day I was in the city there, near Wynyard Station, and I saw there was these two homeless people just on the sidewalk, begging for money. And it just gone dark. It was a cool night, must have been around winter, and I saw these two young men walking towards them. Now these men were well dressed, nicely dressed, and one of them was carrying a big stack of pizzas. And what they were doing, they were actually going up to the homeless and giving out these hot pizzas. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. And the two people who received the pizzas, they were really happy, big smiles on their faces. They've got a hot pizza they're munching on. And I thought that's a really nice thing. These two young men, rather than doing what other people are doing on a Friday night, they said, look, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go out and practice an act of kindness on someone else, for someone else. And Mary McKillop, St Mary of the Cross, she said, find happiness in making others happy. And also she said, never see a need without doing something about it. So I'd encourage everyone, let's get involved and help out the homeless. But look, thanks for watching. I'm going to be leaving a link if you would like to donate a small amount, $10, $20. It all goes to a good cause. So no amount is too small. But please help out, and may God bless you all. Keep praying, and thank you for watching.